siphon off your energy. But they try to make it pleasurable as well, siphoning off your energy. It would be dumb of them to not give you some pleasure out of it. This whole complicated system here that basically we help them to develop the elites, right? I know these people got these information from other beings probably because you can't just get an original idea out of nothing. You need to get it from the other realm or take DMT or some shit. And I know a couple of people that talked to freaking what was it Anunnakis, like Singularity. Like you can't easily look up his channel. I can't post a link because YouTube thinks I'm harmful. So yeah, so this took a whole bunch of energy, but they'd be paying people a whole bunch of money to do this stuff. But I know that, there's people that's been suffering from all this hard work and that don't get any pleasure. But basically, give and take in different ways, give and take, right? Like, the Americans don't work as many hours as, let's say, the third world does, right? But like in the third world, they get pretty much more kids and stuff, unless you're in China. But most third world countries, like they have more children than the first and second world, right? And freaking they and like they have a whole bunch more capable of like living with less wage, right? Like they don't need to be charged as much through their wages, right? Because they live in a third world country. Pleasure is basically, having more kids, right? Yeah, it takes work, but like you feel like, you're developing something, right? And you're developing your kids, having a roof over their head, how to do things. And yeah, they look so cute when they're first born, but then, the pleasurement starts to decrease over time, right? But once he or her gets to older age, they become more mature and stuff, and you feel glad about that. Or they could just go completely wrong and do crime and all that. But it seems like, at least like most family that I know, taking care of their kids and stuff, they're happy with their kids, at least in the Middle Eastern cultures. That's what I know. But I don't know much about the first world culture with most families. Not not as connected with them. But let's see here. Some people say it's not as good or something in the first world, family relations. But I'm not as connected, so I'm not making a personal opinion about the first world about kids. Yeah. But let's see here. But all this extracts your energy too. Like extracts your energy to develop these kids, to teach these kids, and having a roof over their head. And it's also like when people have something to brag about. So, like my kid can get a freaking PhD or a freaking doctorate degree or whatever. So they feel so glad about that to brag about to their other friends and stuff. There's other things that extract your energy. Like it could be even prayer, you could say. But it feels good to pray, right? But that's the reason how they try. That's how they try to extract energy, make it pleasurable, right? Like God or the Creator Himself. If you could take it as good or bad, maybe, right? I'm not something, but for this system that they're currently making another system, right? The 15-minute city and this virtual reality stuff. They ain't going to just easily torture you to be in a pod. They want you to be in pleasure to extract your energy first. They want to make it pleasurable and then siphon out the energy that that you're like enslaved to the system that you enjoy so much, the power of this machine. Like they're not just going to torture you like without, you know, your permission, right? You need to freaking, they're going to make you play these games or live your life in a virtual game, right? So they're not trying to make you work, right? Because like their new system doesn't, their new system, they don't want you to work. They want the robots and AI to take over, but the leads might be they might transfer upload their minds or whatever. to this AI or robot take you over, but they're trying to convince you with all these steps, right? Personally, I haven't developed a VR game yet, or like a virtual reality or that meta shit. I'm still sticking with the old style. Like, at least that's for you in a pleasurable way. I'm not trying I'm trying to present some creative ideas and make it enjoyable and make you learn from it, right? But if my job like wants me to fucking make a game like that, I'm just gonna fucking leave and be indie, more indie, right? Freaking A, I'm not gonna do that shit. I don't want to extract energy from people or lead to a game extracting more energy out of people. Well, you can say the game I'm creating is extracting my own energy, but it is in a way. Oh my God, this is terrible to say this. It is in a way a virtual womb, right? Womb, right? So in a way, like I'm creating my own shit in a different way, but that's terrible. But a lot of things here are meant to extract energy out of you. So that's it. It's like the game basically, yeah, like my ideas, what I did, my time is taken into the game. Like they take my time and put into the game, right? And all that stuff. So a part of me is in the game, right? My ideas. So it's kind of the same idea. Like you put your ideas, you put part of yourself into others, like for your family, right? They're influenced by you, but they could also be influenced by other people. But most of the time, they're going to be influenced by their mother and their father because they're the ones that are with them most of the time in terms of living together, unless they're separated, like with a divorce, right? And or some cases in a divorce, so like the family time is split. So like they're going to be missing part of that development too, like when they're split. So they're not going to get the full. They're, part of them aren't going to be made by you, like developed by you, right? And part of your spouse, not your spouse, your husband or your wife, part of them aren't going to develop the kid. So it's like missing half of what your what your kid's going to be. He's going to miss half of it by you not being there, right? Or like your wife or husband not being there. So yeah, things going to be missing, like a half developed idea, or yeah, in terms of that. Yeah, so makes me wonder about God or the creator or the ruler of the world, or yeah, like that Novo Harari dude. He was saying, well, God is dead, but the concept isn't, right? The idea of a God still exists, right? But basically, it makes me wonder, like, maybe the certain entity that you call God, or somebody that took the place of God, right? Maybe he's dead and he's being replaced by the new world order God. Like that, they're gonna have this intelligence of AI take over the freaking over the whole world like the Eye of Sauron, right? Like it knows everything you're doing, right? Like Eye of Sauron, like how God would know everything that you're doing. Like he has a wide eye, like he can see everything. Of course, that's a metaphor, right? But like basically, this AI knows a whole bunch of shit about our health and all that stuff under our skin and all that shit. So it's extracting our energy by taking a look at our data of our freaking behaviors on the internet or where we go, where our phones detect where we're going, right? And what we're saying, our phones detect that and try to advertise to us. But like, he's siphoning all our characteristics and all our energy, or studying it as well, and making this replacement of God that we know. So it's manifesting this basically this replacement of God, or like how like Ian would say, like if I went to the metaverse, Zuckerberg's metaverse, he ain't my creator. He's just the ruler of this world, the metaverse, right? So that would be the same idea, but like course, like, you ain't going to have an image, right? But like, freaking A. But the concept and all the energy being siphoned is real. That becomes the reality where this information gathering is basically going to be our new God, right? All of our energy, all of our information makes what this God is real, basically, in a way, because he knows everything. He knows what you're doing, what's under your skin, what, true crime bullshit you might do, right? And he has records of all the, okay, MR, okay, I'm not, okay, medical, uh, what is it? I can say it in another way. Okay, record. Okay, so I just spaced it out without really fully telling you exactly in a complete word stuff, but you got it. So he knows everything about your stuff. So it becomes a god in a way. This collector of information, and he knows when you're naughty or nice, and he just sucks you up or puts you in jail for wrong thing. Like, just like, how hell, this idea of hell, if you did bad shit in your life, like a lot of bad shit or whatever, or you don't believe in him, right? You go to a pit of hell, right? A lava, right? A lake of fire, right? So, makes me wonder, like, if you don't agree with this God's idea, it'll sentence you to somewhere else. And maybe that somewhere else could be another different type of metaverse. Maybe that's one way how you can suffer. So it's not always all in pleasurement, but the threat of lack of pleasurement as well. To put it simply, your energy is creation. Everything you put your energy into is a part of you, and that part creates your reality of your creation, right? Or the being, or the concept of it as well. And the God, or AI that has all your information and everybody else's information and knows their likeness and all that stuff is a being of knowledge that took all your energy. So, in a way, the God is the energy that you put into it.